Welcome to the channel, everybody. It's a lovely sunny day, and today we're in Woburn in Bedfordshire, not to be confused with Woburn Sands, which is just along the road in the Buckinghamshire-Bedfordshire border, and that's a town. This is a village, looking at the Woburn Arms here, and we're going to explore the village, have a look in the town hall if we can get in there, which is just across the road there. We'll go in there later. Now on the corner here with the green sign is Lussman's, and I've had the good fortune to meet Andre Lussman. He's a nice chap, he's well into sustainability and also been local and supporting local businesses around what he's creating. Great chap. If ever you get the chance, pop in a Lussman's, you'll enjoy the food. Now this place looks busy. I might pop there for a coffee later. Looks like there's a big queue for cakes and coffees. We'll come back when it's a bit quieter. Very busy place. Flutes. One of the things that strikes me about Woburn is the different types of architecture of the buildings, and that's due to the village being destroyed by fire 3 times over the years. In medieval times, a chimney fire set fire to all the thatched roofs and closely built houses and cottages. Then there was another fire during the English Civil War, and in 1724 a third fire destroyed much of the town, which was rebuilt in the Georgian style that remains today, heavily influenced by the Duke of Bedford at the time. On the left here is the old church of St Mary's that's run by the Woburn Heritage Centre Trust. The trust was set up by fundraising in the village to save and restore the church, and they opened it as a small museum about the history of Woburn. You can see the sign here. The tower of the church dates back to the 16th century, which is amazing. I'll try and get a view of the tower. The clock, you can see, was installed in 1830. It still keeps perfect time today. Just check my watch, it is, and it strikes every hour. Now, coming up left here before we cross the road is Staunton House. It was built in 1762. They're almshouses. They were rebuilt in 1850, converted in 1968, and an Act of Parliament settled the above on allowing trustees. I assume they're almshouses. Now, you'll notice the leaded light windows. They're very similar to the ones we saw in Aldbury. If you've looked at the Aldbury video, make sure you check it out. It's got some great architecture in Aldbury too. Right, let's get back to it. Let's head back into... Sorry, I nearly got cut off in my prime there and run over. You can imagine the old coaching inns, this archway through, the coaches would have come through here back in the day. This is a view of the Bedford estate. Now the Bedfords own a lot of the properties in the village, but also huge swathes of land around Woburn and the house. We'll talk about the Bedfords later. That's something you don't see every day. A herbalist delivery bike. I wonder if he was a peddler. Now here at number 10 is a plaque to commemorate one of the 3 fires I told you where Woburn burnt down 3 times. This is formerly a pub called the White Hart that burnt down in 1724 during the Great Fire of Woburn. I'll shut up in a minute, but I must show you this. This is my favourite house in Woburn, I think. They run a front door competition, and this was the winner. What a great front door. Love that. Now it's not just coffee shops. Woburn has always been for years renowned for antiques. Unfortunately the antique centre doesn't open till 11, so I can't go in yet, and coffee is higher on my agenda this morning. We'll do that in a bit. let's go and have a look in the old town hall. We'll see if they mind me doing a bit of filming. There's a great ceiling apparently upstairs. I need to go and have a look at that. Now Beth, the lady downstairs, said I could film. The Old Town Hall was built in 1830 to replace the original 3-storey market hall, which had fallen into disrepair. It was owned by the Duke of Bedford until the 20th century. Wow, look at that ceiling, unbelievable. Before that it housed a library, a courthouse. It was even used for local community events. After the First World War, the 11th Duke of Bedford displayed one of a couple of German field guns here, which the Bedfordshire regiment had captured in the Battle of the Seal. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Also, if you love your homewares, there's some brilliant bits in here. I've got a couple of friends who I know would spend a good few hours in here and they wouldn't be looking at the ceiling. Right, let's head back down the stairs without breaking my neck and banging my head. So if you love your homewares, that's Zoo House. I've also got to be a bit careful, they're painting and decorating today, so I don't want to get paint on myself. Right, what to do next? I think coffee is beckoning. No, before that, I'm going to wander down and we'll have a look at Bedford House. over the road is Bedford House, and it's the home of the Dowager Duchess of Bedford, Henrietta Tiark. She was the former Duchess of Bedford, and she moved out of the big house, Woburn Abbey, and now lives here in this big house, which I suppose to her isn't that big. Henrietta Tiark, interesting lady. She was the Marchioness of Tavistock before she married the Duke of Bedford. He was the 14th Duke of Bedford, and when he died, she moved into this house. Now you may notice a load of motorbikes driving through Woburn if you come here. There is a sort of garage meeting place for motorcyclists, Harley Davidson fans, and I think there's a bit of a bacon sandwich place going on for them. But they roar through the village now and again. Got to have your wits about you when you're crossing the road. Right, I think coffee time. Coffee and a cake. I'm looking for a cake now. Well, I hope there's some cakes left at Flutes. There's a queue out the door. Must be a popular place on a sunny day. Well, it is the first bit of sun we've had, I suppose. I need to choose a cake. Busy inside too. I wonder if they've got my favourite. Right, I've ordered my cake. You'll see what it is in a minute. I'm just heading upstairs. Lucky I don't have to carry the coffee up here. They're very steep. The lady said she'll bring it up. I haven't even had a chance to mention Woburn is the home of Woburn Safari Park. Really famous safari park. And lots of deer in the grounds as well. Anyway, more important, I've got my coffee and my Bakewell slice. Oh, windows are a bit steamy. And no. Yeah, just focus out the window. Lovely view out the window. That's why I sat up here, so I could see the comings and goings outside Flutes. Attracts lots of walkers, Woburn as well. There's a few in the corner over there. I've got to keep my voice down a bit. There you go, one of the deer. Right, great coffee and cake. That's Flutes. A little bit on the expensive touristy side, but really worth it. If you want a nice coffee, head to Flutes. Oh, the bikers have turned up for cake and coffee now as well. Two ladies you see crossing the road were very chatty, talking about the state of the country and the potholes. Not many potholes here in Woburn, I have to say. Nicely looked after place. Right, that's about it from me today from sunny Woburn in Bedfordshire. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends, and perhaps we'll visit a town or village or city near you very soon. Take care.